afternoon, everyone. I am Jeline May Olamit, together with my group mates, Gayla Joy Castor, Chris De Luz Arianza, Minex Kapospos, Clark Doy Sausal, and Chris Nabi Mansibugan, and we are the Group 7. So the topic that was assigned to us is all about the topics in Module 3. So without further ado, let's begin. Calling out the first reporter, Gayla Joy Castor.
Credit policy. Credit policy is a set of guidelines that sets credit and payment terms for customers and establishes a clear course of action for late payments. So, ang credit policy is muni ang giya nga nagtakda sa paagi unsaon pagpili sa mga customers nga mogamit og open account, ang eksaktong termino sa pagbayad, ang mga limitasyon sa mga outstanding balances, and unsaon pag-atubang sa mga delinquent accounts. As you create your policy, consider the link between credit and sales. Easy credit terms can be excellent way to boost sales, but they can also increase losses if customers default. A typical credit policy will address the following points. First is the credit limits. Credit limits, you'll establish peso figures for amount of credit you're willing to extend and define the parameters or circumstances. Next is credit terms. Kung magkasabot ka nga magpabayad sa usa ka customer, kinahanglan nimo pasabton kung kanusa ang pagbayad nga adunay panahon nga pagtugot. Your terms may also include early payment discounts and late payment penalties. Next is the deposits. Mahimong gipangayo nimo sa mga customer nga magbayad sa pipila sa halin nga dapat bayaran sa una pa. And next is the credit cards and personal checks. Ang bangko maoy maayong source sa credit and merchants ug sa pagbutang sa mga patakaran bahin sa pagdawat sa personal nga mga selyo. Next, customer information. Kini nga bahin naglakip sa mga butang nga gusto nimo mahibal-an bahin sa usa ka customer sa wala pa makahimo og decision about sa credits. So, the typical points include years in businesses, length of time at present location, financial data, credit rating with other vendors and credit reporting agencies, information about the individual principals of the company, and how much they expect to purchase from you. And next and last is the documentation. Kini naglakip sa mga application sa credits, mga kasabutan sa mga pagbaligya, mga kontrata, mga purchase orders, mga resibo sa pagpadala, invoice, correspondent, and etc.
Good day, everyone. I am Crystal Zorianza, and my topic for today is benefits of credit policy. So, credit policy is explicitly documenting the processes and procedures. A sound credit policy will ensure consistency across your account portfolio and help lead to stable and predictable cash flow, and also the helps you to determine which clients or customers are eligible for credits from your company and outlines the steps you'll take to collect unpaid debts. So, credit policies are also important because they keep. So, there are three steps so you can take to build a credit policy that works. Firstly, is to know how much credit you can afford to extend. So, this is establishing the parameters of your credit policy is to understand just how much credit your company can afford to extend, and is important for you to learn how much your credit of your company can afford to extend. And the second one is learn who pays on time and who don't. This leads to the next thing you want to examine, which account pay late or don't pay at all. This will help you to avoid the risk on people who don't pay on time. And the third one is extend credit on your terms. You have to decide how long you will allow for payment discounts you may offer and whether to extend credit at all. When it comes to payment, your credit policy should very clearly outline the penalties you are prepared to impose should you find yourself chasing late payments. And let's move forward to the next topics, the checklist for a complete pictures of credit application. This is important because the state required information to help you make the most informed business credit decision and provide possible terms.
Hi, my name is Mylene Joy, and I am tasked to report developing a credit policy. Developing, refining, and enforcing sound credit policy will help reduce exposure to the customer who cannot pay time or in terms. So, ang kani nga policy ang ginahimo sa isa ka business is to ma-avoid ang kanang exposure nila sa isa ka customer nga dili makabalo tuman sa ilang mga obligations towards sa isa ka businesses nga ilang giutangan. In developing a business credit policy, we have 5 questions that we need to be tackled. So, the 5 following questions for developing a credit policy lays the foundation for the kind credit policy that will be most beneficial to our company. So, the first one is, what is the mission? Second is, what are your goals? Third is, who are the specific credit responsibilities? Fourth, what are the procedures involved in evaluating customers' creditworthiness, terms and conditions, invoicing, and collection? And the fifth one is how credit policy evaluated. As we go on through this topic, we will all know why we need these 5 critical questions in credit. To continue with section 1, which is credit department mission. It is developing a mission statement on credit department. These differ from the company mission statement and should have the full alignment with it. Credit policy should reflect the corporate goal as well as the company capacity for the risk. For the instance, new companies may have to take the high risk customers in order to develop the market shares. Firmly established organization may be able to control risk more strictly. So therefore, kung bago pa lang ka nga company, expect na gyud ka nga mas taas imong risk sa ingana nga mga kanang businesses. Pero kung well established na ka, kung dugay na ka sa ingana nga company or nga businesses, then you could be compatible sa mga risk nga gakahitabo sa environment. And kabalo na ka mag-deal with sa mga customers nimo nga kabalo og dili kabalo mabayad. Pero ang mission gyud sa department, the credit department is to gain more profit and para magtaas ilang increase ang sales, mo increase ang market shares and other nga mga percentage para sa company.
So good morning everyone, I am Clark Dwight Sausal and I'm going to tackle about the section 2 and section 3. So, ang section 2 is about the credit department goals. So, the credit department goals should be based on your company's cash flow requirements. So, sana ni ang kwan, they should track with the current market conditions, then reflect the strategic direction of your company, organization or company, and it supports sales objectives. Thus, lastly, kanang change based on the state of the company. So, kanang before before ta makasulod or maka-apply na nga loan or investment, sabat kay gina-check gyapon sa ato ang nito ang company gasudlan, gina-check gyapon nila ang ato ang mga profile labi na sa atong financial without mga records ana. As one sample of credit department goals is to open new account during the course of a year, And second, a target for percentage of bad debts to sales. So kanang kung may mga utang dapat kay ma-meet nila as sales na. And kung katulo, percentage targets for acceptable account aging percent current average days delinquent percentage over 90 days past due. So ginakuan pud nila nga katong mga napagawas nila mga credits kay dapat kay mabailuan or mailisan bitaw yan na. Anang in section 3, it's all about the roles and responsibilities and authorization level. So this section should contains brief description of a role and responsibilities of each department member. You can include written job descriptions if desired. So and sample of credit department roles description is saan na kaya ang credit analysis. So unsa man yung credit analysis? So it is a type of financial analysis that an investor of bond portfolio manager performs on company as government, municipalities, or any other debt issuing entities to measure the issuer ability to meet its debt obligation. So ang credit analysis mo sa niya i-analyze sa kanang financial records bitaw kay para may bala nila kung or ma-determine nila kanang kabalo ba ka mabayad or na ba ka ability man kabayad sa ngaling kanang loan lugar mag-loan ka. So dapat kay na mga tawag kanang na sila masaligan ba or hint bitaw or kanang any other bitaw nga maka-convey sa ilaha bitaw nga pa-invest ka or maka-loan ka. So second is collection specialist. So collection is specialist is the one who analyze, review customers' credit application and financial records to determine whether or not customers qualifies for a loan or a line credit. So ang i-mention ganina pare-pareha rin sila pero kadang kung gyud naman guys collection specialist. So kanang ang collection specialist kay kada bitang i-identify nila kung ang ga-invest or ga-loan sila is credible ba gyud. So kumantay ta sa ubang company nga or kanang mga other organization like Bojemco kanang may mga pautang gani na. So nanginahanglan sila payslip para ma-identify nila kung ang imuhang ginautang mabayaran yun nimo na. Tas dili na sila basta-basta magpautang. Napag din na sila kanang lanog kanang itang co-maker. Oo, co-maker. Tas di na sila basta-basta magpautang kay lagi na may mga tagod niya. Di ka balo mo bayad silang mga obligation. And that would be all. Thank you.
Good day, Ma'am Rita. I am Krishnavi Mansibugan, your student from BA 276. The following 5 procedures shall be observed in the implementation of credit policies. We have A. Evaluating new customers' credit worthiness, re-evaluating the worthiness of existing customers, terms and policies, condition of sales, invoicing, and collections. When we say new customers' credit worthiness, the sources of information to help determine credit risk are industry credit groups, credit bureau reports, financial statements, credit references, public records, and information provided applicants. Before extending a credit to the lending institution, shall conduct a thorough credit investigation to determine their credit worthiness. This includes checking their credit history, employment status, and relevant information. The lending institution may also require the customer to provide collateral for a guarantor. Isa sa akong masample ani is asa ako ang mama. Nag-file siya og loan sa FICO. And then the next day, nag-conduct na dayon og CI ang FICO kung unsay estado sa among panginabuhi. Sa amo ang part, akong mama is naa siya tindahan, igo-igo ra gyud.
And sa ako apong papa na ay siya'y umahan. And then, ang next step is approve na dayon siya. The way sa ilang pag-survey. So, maulang to akong ma-share nga sample. So, let's move to re-evaluating the creditworthiness of existing customers. When we say re-evaluating the existing of customers, on a regular basis, the lending institution shall periodically re-evaluate the creditworthiness of existing customers to ensure that they continue to meet the lending institution's credit standard. So, based sa akong pag-observe sa akong mama kay Fico man gina siya, ang Fico karon kay one call away na. In case malate out na date, due date sa Fico na mismo ang muadto sa inyo ha, and advantage pud kay siya kay less hassle and ang paying di pud hassle ang travel. So, let's move on to terms and condition of sales. Terms and condition of sales protect your rights as a seller. They should be included on all sales documents. They should be included on your credit application together with a statement requiring signature. For example, I have read and agreed to the terms and condition as stated in this document. Kita ta na naka-encounter na nga inani nga face no, just like sa website nga ato agi na open na agyud na inani always nga term and condition if mo agree ba ka or disagree sa terms and policies niya. So, terms should always be included on sales contract, orders and invoices, even emails related to sales. In addition, you may want to require large customers to sign an annual sale or credit contract, which include your term of sales and their credit limit. Number 4 is invoicing. The lending institution shall issue invoices to customers for goods or services purchased on credit. So, all invoices should be issued within 24 hours of merchandise being shopped. Invoices must contain name and address of customers, remittance address of electronic transformation, contract information for inquiries, terms and condition of sales, description of merchandise or services, unit prices, total amount due, shipment date and method of shipment, due date and discounts. So, sa overdue nga payments, mag-send gid sila og requirements. Then, permigid kanila gina-update. And providing customers with grace period before charging late fees. Just like anang Shopee gani, no? Maka-encounter man gid tayo inana. And lastly, we have a collections. So, even with all your best efforts to carefully and consistently manage your company's receivables, there will be some accounts that aren't paid on time. In this case, of default non-payment, the lending institution shall take appropriate legal action to collect the outstanding balance. This may include sending reminders for overdue payments, calling or emailing customers to request payment, or filing a case in a court. Base lang ni sa akong nahibawan, so ang uban kung mag-due date na gyud adtuan mismo sa Fico sa ilang balay gid para sure gid nga bayaran gid to nga.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jeline May Olamit, and I'm going to discuss Section 5, Measuring Results. So, it is time to assess its efficiency now that your credit policy has been in place now. So, it says that the measuring results should be done at least quarterly, or in other words, it should be done every 3 months. So, you'll measure results 4 times a year. Okay, so to measure results, you have to start your aging analysis. So, in order to do this, you have to follow the metric listed in the goals section 2 of this document. So, this slide shows the goals of section 2. So, after following these goals, tanawan nimo ang impact sa credit policy sa imong sales and cash reserves. Okay, and if necessary, pwede nimo uspon ang mga policies based sa imong mga findings. So that would be all for Module 3. Thank you and God bless.